Hello from IFSEC 2016 International. I'm Dimitris Kianis from Security Manager, and we're here in the booth of Takex. I'm with Mike Burgess and Mr. Konstantinos Veranoudis. So, Mr. Burgess, tell us about this year's IFSEC for starters.
Well, this is my 15th IFSEC, so I've been doing this for quite a while. They've moved it 3 years ago from Birmingham down to London, which everybody was worried about. Personally, I prefer it being up in Birmingham than London. The problem having it in London is everything is very expensive. Normal hotels that would cost me £30 or £40 suddenly cost me £180. So there is an issue being here, but what we have found is the international pull is much bigger in London. We were finding that when we were exhibiting in Birmingham, a lot of our international visitors came to Birmingham for one day and then disappeared back down to London to be a tourist for a few days. So it does have some benefits to be here. The biggest issue I find is most of my business is not done during the show. It's done in the evenings, where we socialize, where we get to know one another. When we were in Birmingham, this was great because there was one central street that everybody went to. You could go there any time in the evening, you would bump into people you know. In London, we don't have that anymore because everybody is staying in different places. There is no central focal point. So it seems to have destroyed a lot of the social aspect of the show.
You certainly gave us the biggest insight of everyone I've asked today about IFSEC.
I'm a veteran of the show, so.
Now, tell us about Takex and the new products or solutions that you exhibit here in IFSEC.
Okay, so Takex, we've been manufacturing infrared beams, passive infrareds. We did our first beam in 1954, so we have over 50 years experience in this field. We are recognized as one of the leaders in this field. We are very specialized. We don't manufacture lots of different types of products. We focus on 2 or 3 products. We enhance that range, and that's where we're seen. We're most known for our infrared beams, point-to-point beams. Most people think this is Mission Impossible stuff. It's not. It's very basic. You can't put on the goggles and spray things. You can't put on spray and see the lines. That is just for the movies. This is totally invisible, covert security, but designed for perimeters. In Greece, for instance, we've done a lot of the solar farms. We've done quite a few of the government buildings, military, things like this. So that's really where we're aimed at, in that sort of market.
Okay, and last I want your opinion about the security market in general, international market, where current trends, future trends, and generally how's it going? Is it positive, the reaction?
If we lived in an ideal world, we'd be out of a job. We don't. We live in a world that needs security. That need is getting greater. When we're seeing these mass migrations of people, we're seeing huge disparities in levels of wealth between the haves and the have-nots. So security is becoming more and more important. My biggest market in the whole EMEA is South Africa. Their security is a matter of life and death. And we do maybe 25% of my entire EMEA business is from that one country. What's interesting is when we saw the economies in places like Spain and Greece drop down, a lot of my competitors also saw their business drop. My business actually rose. So that was a reaction to the economic stress put on the market and to the environment. And again, looking at this disparity of the haves and the have-nots. So we're finding security is ever growing as a market. There aren't that many new technologies. Bear in mind, this is an old established market. So we're relying on technologies that have been around for 30, 40 years. We are seeing a few new technologies coming out, but they're derivatives of what's already existing. The biggest change in this sort of field is through the lens technology, where recognition through the lens is getting better and better. It's still not perfect, and it still is supplemented by systems like our own, but that's where I see the market going in the next 5 years.
Most interesting. Thank you very much.